After a whole lot of research, Kirk and Victoria decided to build the property in Rapid City, South Dakota. Everybody's Tristan Emond with Mindful Living Realty, a realtor right here in Rapid City, South Dakota, the gateway to the Black Hills. I sat down with them a couple months ago to talk about their story about their move to Rapid City. First question is, tell me your story as far as what made you decide, hey, let's move up to South Dakota.
Go ahead.
What was that all about?
Well, it's a long story, but the main thing was health reasons. My wife's health. We were living in Santa Fe, New Mexico. That's at 7,000 feet, and so that was beginning to affect her health adversely. So step one was we need to go somewhere. We need to get down from 7,000 feet. Now that leaves you with
Quite
a whole lot of
options.
So then all three of us, Nick, our son, and the two of us put our heads together, did a bunch of research, did a bunch of discussion amongst us. Where would you like to be? We let Nick drive the bus to a good extent. Where do you think you would like to settle? And we did a ton of research, kind of got the general area, and then we sort of narrowed it down to South Dakota. Then we looked and said, well, okay, I don't know, Sioux Falls, East River, West River.
Yeah, came here at different times of the year to
Yeah.
make sure that we were good.
We came in January.
Came in August.
You know, it's like it's cold out here, right? Yeah.
So
It's a little different than New Mexico.
Yeah.
One visit was when the 92 mile an hour wind gust was happening. So
Yeah,
we
the
made
first-
sure that was all. We're originally from the Midwest, so there was a lot of a feeling of coming back home.
And honestly, yeah, we did. We looked at the weather forecast stuff, and it seemed to say, well, the winters aren't quite as bad in Rapid City as they were elsewhere in the state. So I was like, all right. And our visits, we really loved what we saw. We loved the downtown area. We loved the Black Hills. We did all the touring and the sightseeing, and so this is beautiful. Love the people. The people were fantastic.
People are incredible.
And we also knew from doing a little bit of background study that it was a good medical center, that it's a regional hub, that, like a 150-mile radius. So there was a lot more options and a lot more medical services within reach. Back where we were, a lot of stuff we had to drive an hour down to Albuquerque to get the care that we needed.
Yeah.
And here it's all 5 miles away. Our experience since being here with the medical establishment here has just been fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Really, really.
One other thing that was in consideration when we decided to choose South Dakota is we were living in very much a lockdown situation, and appreciated the fact when we visited that restaurants were open and everybody was walking around freely and greeting you and friendly, and that had a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, there's no denying the cultural differences, and I don't want to use the P word, but also the political differences. We felt this was more in line with our values and with the lifestyle that we wanted to lead, the way we wanted to live our lives. We actually drove down, one of the first places we were looking at was Las Cruces, New Mexico, which is down south, because we were like, well, maybe we want to stay in the state, stay a little closer to where we used to live. And we took a serious look. But as we all began to discuss it more and dig into it deeper, we all...
South Dakota came to the top of the list.
South Dakota, Rapid City made it to the top.
All right, so we decided on South Dakota, and then we got together and we started looking at properties. I know it was a long experience, but what about the whole home buying, home purchase? What about that experience working with us was the most, one or two things that really stood out to you guys regarding to our services in buying the property?
Well, first of all, trying to buy out of state is a hard thing. But we discovered that if you have the right people helping you out, it makes it a little easier. And I have to say we were really impressed with your company, your team. Every inch along the way, You helped us through very difficult things. We would plan a trip. We would call you, say we're coming up. You would make yourself available to show us homes, pre-owned homes on the market. They were going fast. The market was really tightening. Everything would be up for 4 hours and then they'd stop showing. But you stuck through it with us, and you helped us decide that we were going to go with new construction. So you took us to look at lots. You took us to different neighborhoods. All in all, I feel you made it very enjoyable and very much less stressful than it need be. Because it is a hard thing to do when you're going out of state. You just have to have the right people helping you. Anytime we had a question, answers were quick, very effective. Everything was, what we needed to hear. Communication was great.
And the YouTube videos are great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we found
first found you on
was
YouTube.
watching, let's look on YouTube and see what we can learn. But we watched, we said, I like this guy. I think we can get along with him. I think he's our kind of person.
The absolute first video that we saw of you and your team was the one that you said, so you think you want to move to South Dakota. And I'm going to tell you why you should. Mm-hmm. We thought it was funny. We thought it was informative. We looked at a couple of Kirk loves YouTube, so looked at a couple of other things. And we kept coming back to you, Tristan. It's just like, okay, we like this guy.
Go-to guy.
So when we first decided to let's start seriously looking, you were the one we went to. Mm-hmm.
Now that you've been in the home for a little while, what is it that you love about the home, the area, the neighborhood? What do you like about being here?
The home specifically, it's a great layout. Again, we bought a lot. We could only look at some of the houses that were already going up in the neighborhood. So we were juggling with, do we want a split level? Do we want a ranch? And love the lighting. There's just tons of natural lighting in the house. Love the layout. Essentially, you can live on one floor as long as somebody else does the laundry. And it's, I think my most favorite thing about the house is the absolute abundance of natural light and the layout of the house.
Good insulation.
Yeah.
Talking like a guy. Yep.
I mean, I'm impressed so far. It's like, okay, place is holding up. We've had single-digit temps, and all right. They build these things solid up here. It's good.
Also, the gas fireplace. Never had a gas fireplace.
Nice.
Had a wood one before, but never a gas. Mm-hmm. And it's nice to just flick the switch and have ambiance and warmth in one flick.
Yeah. Having a garage is awesome. Cars stay out of the weather.
Yeah,
I put a thermometer in the garage because I want to see. Okay. How does it hold up? And I think when I looked this morning, it's still like 46 in there, and it got up to 50. I'm a real nerd with this kind of thing. It got up to 50 yesterday with the sunshine. I'm like, okay, that's not bad.
Even though that usually stays pretty temperate, right?
Yeah, not bad.
Yep.
Plenty of room for all our stuff. We're still organizing, but
it is starting to look like a house. It's been We got in July, and here it is November, and now we're saying, wow, okay, we're living in a house. That's a nice thing.
Yes.
Since you've been here for that many months, what is it that you love about Rapid City and the Black Hills as you've had time to be here?
Oh my gosh, the everything outdoors is just amazing. Tons of scenery, tons of activities. We're constantly amazed when we see the what is that called? The Outdoor Center or something like that?
Outdoor Campus West.
Yes, that's the
go.
one. They offer all kinds of classes, whatever you want to do. So if you love the outdoors, it's absolutely fabulous. I love downtown. I love that it's compact and walkable. And if you can't get into one restaurant, you walk 2 doors down and there's another one. So I like that.
Good breweries. A lot of good breweries.
Yeah, you guys have
around
been
town.
enjoying the
We've
breweries.
been checking out the brew houses.
We've been out and about to a few restaurants and
Enjoyed the restaurants.
all of that.
And we did the touring before we moved. We haven't been able to do anything since, but there's a list. I mean,
Well, we went to Spearfish Canyon
We
to
did,
watch
for the
the
colors, yeah.
colors.
Yeah.
And that was nice drive, not that far away. That's the other thing about Rapid is that there's a lot of things that are pretty close by. Within an hour or two, you can be in Deadwood, you can go to Sturgis, you could go to Spearfish. So that's the other thing about Rapid that's kind of neat.
Yeah, there you
Beef
go.
is marvelous here. Yeah. So.
We went to Dakota Butcher, bought close to 100 pounds of meat, bought a freezer, put it in the garage, and our leaven, the bacon is spectacular. We've got a chuck roast in the crock pot going as we speak for tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The VA system here is very impressive.
Awesome.
Unexpectedly so, but the people that I've been working with and our son has been working with are really highly motivated and want to serve the veterans community.
That's good to hear. You don't usually hear too much good stuff about the VA.
No, you don't.
No, they've been incredible.
I mean, I was very comfortable with the kind of care and the services that I was getting back in Santa Fe, but they're just more.
They go the extra mile
Yeah,
there, quite a bit more.
They're just
Very informative.
very, very, interested and want to make sure you're getting everything you should be getting or deserve to get. Yeah, just the motivation level is very high. Very impressed.
Anything else that you may have thought of during our conversation that you wanted to mention?
That's just about it. Choose well, choose wisely, and moving from out of state becomes much easier.
They were so excited to make this move, and I was so happy to be able to help them. If you like this video, make sure you check out these other testimonials and this video that they're referencing here, why you should move to Rapid City, South Dakota. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and remember, love where you live.